The Admiral's voice carried through the massive naval hangar like thunder over the ocean. "So, miss, you're the new recruit everyone's talking about?" His tone was half amusement, half disbelief. Rows of elite SEALs stood at attention, all eyes on the young woman standing before the most decorated admiral in the Navy. She was calm, too calm for someone who just walked into a den of hardened warriors. Her uniform was crisp, her boots spotless, but her eyes held something no one could quite place, a quiet storm. The Admiral smirked, leaning on his cane, his chest heavy with medals earned in blood and battle. "Tell me," he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm, "what's your call sign, soldier?" The question was a tradition, a test. Most rookies froze, stuttered, or made up something silly. But she didn't even blink. She looked him straight in the eyes and said, "Iron Widow." The hangar fell silent. The air felt heavier. And then, something in the Admiral's face changed, the grin vanished. His knuckles went white as his hand gripped the cane tighter. The sound of it clattering to the floor echoed through the hall. He stumbled back, eyes wide, as if he'd seen a ghost. What did you say?" he whispered. Everyone froze. The woman, maybe mid-20s, didn't flinch. "Iron Widow, sir," she repeated, her voice unwavering. The Admiral turned pale. His voice cracked, something no one had ever heard from him. "That's impossible," he muttered, his gaze distant. "Iron Widow, she died 12 years ago." And that's when the story truly began. If you're watching this right now, you're probably wondering, who was Iron Widow? Why did her name make a Navy SEAL admiral break down in front of his entire command? Hit the like button and subscribe, because what you're about to hear will leave your heart pounding and your soul stirred. 12 years ago, Iron Widow wasn't just a name, it was legend. A call sign carried by one of the most feared and respected special ops snipers in the Navy. Her real name was Commander Grace Monroe. She was the first woman to ever lead a SEAL fire team deep into enemy territory, a mission so classified that even the president only got fragments of the report. Her team called her Iron Widow because she never missed a shot, never broke under pressure, and never left a man behind. But on her final mission, something went wrong. Her unit was ambushed. Grace was declared missing in action, presumed dead. But she hadn't died. Back in the hangar, the young woman stared at the Admiral, the corner of her lip twitching slightly, not in arrogance, but pain. "She didn't die, sir," she said softly. "She survived." He froze. His trembling voice cracked again, barely audible. Who are you?" "My name is Captain Sarah Monroe," she said. "Grace Monroe was my mother." The Admiral's eyes welled up. He took a slow step forward. "Grace had a daughter?" "She did," Sarah replied. "And when she came home from that last mission, she was broken, inside and out. But she raised me to fight like her, to never run, to stand for those who can't. I trained every day under her watch until the day she died, for real this time. She wanted me to earn her call sign, not inherit it. So I did." The Admiral's lips trembled. "Your mother saved my life once. I never got to thank her." His voice faltered. "She was the finest soldier I ever knew." Sarah nodded, eyes glassy but strong. "Then you'll understand why I'm here. I'm not asking to be accepted. I'm here to prove I belong, like she did." The silence in the hangar turned into something electric. The men who had smirked at her moments earlier stood taller. Respect began to bloom, slowly, then all at once. The weeks that followed weren't easy. Sarah faced mockery, impossible drills, and nights that broke lesser recruits. They called her the Admiral's pet, Mommy's shadow, and worse. But she never snapped back, she let her actions do the talking. She outshot them at the range, outlasted them in training, and when one of her teammates nearly drowned during a deep-water exercise, it was Sarah who dove in, dragging him out with lungs burning and hands bleeding. Her strength wasn't in her muscles, it was in her heart. Every bruise she earned, every scar she hid, carried a whisper from her mother's voice, "Pain doesn't make you weak, Sarah. It reminds you that you're still alive." And that whisper kept her moving forward. Months later, during a real deployment, the unit walked into a trap, history repeating itself. Gunfire erupted in the mountains of a hostile zone. Chaos everywhere. The team was pinned down. The young commander froze, unable to issue orders. It was Sarah who took charge. Calm, precise, fearless. "Smoke out the left ridge. Johnson, cover the north." "I've got the scope," she barked, her tone identical to her mother's. Shot after shot, she dismantled the ambush. One bullet, one breath, no hesitation. By the time the dust settled, the SEALs were alive. When the evac chopper arrived, the Admiral was waiting. As Sarah stepped out, her face streaked with dirt and sweat, the Admiral saluted her, not as a superior, but as a soldier honoring another. "Iron Widow," he said quietly. "Your mother would be proud." Sarah smiled faintly. "She already is." The video's final moments fade with the sound of waves crashing against the shore, a shot of the ocean glimmering beneath the sunset. The narrator's voice returns, steady and full of emotion. She wasn't just her mother's daughter, she was her mother's legacy. And sometimes, the names we inherit aren't burdens, they're promises we rise to keep. So if this story touched your heart, hit that like button, share it with someone who believes strength comes from the soul, not the uniform, and subscribe for more stories that remind us, heroes never die. They live on in those they inspire.